Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new video. I'm your host Deeper Jungle, and today I'm going to be doing another Call of Duty commentary. And for today's commentary, I'm going to be talking about how you guys can raise your kill death ratio and get more kills in Call of Duty WW2 multiplayer. Now guys, before I actually get into today's video, I just want to say that this video was actually suggested by a YouTuber that goes by the name of ItsKillSwitch, so his channel will be linked down in the description. So guys, in today's video, I'm going to be going over my tips on how you can have a higher kill death ratio and get more kills in Call of Duty WW2 multiplayer. So yeah, now that I got the intro out of the way, let's actually dive right into the commentary. Alright guys, so the first tip that I have for today's video, and that's going to be situational awareness. Now, this is really important if you want to get more kills in Call of Duty WW2, and what I mean by situational awareness, and that is be aware of what's going to be going on in your area of the map in Call of Duty WW2. For example, make sure to look at the mini-map so that way you can know where enemies are going to be, as well as make sure to pay attention to where your teammates are so that way you know where the enemies are going to be. For example, one good tip to make sure that you know where the enemies are going to be is look on the mini-map and look where your teammates are. And generally, if let's say your teammates are all in a certain area of the map and you notice that there's a big blank area of the map that no teammates are in, you can make the assumption that the enemies are going to be spawning there, so that means that you know where the enemies are going to be, as well as make sure to pay attention to if you actually hear gunshots, so that way you can tell if there's going to be enemies around you. And if you pay attention to where enemies are going to be, then you are definitely going to be getting more kills. So yeah guys, that's going to be the first tip that I have for today's video. And the second tip that I want to say, and that's going to be make sure to use the proper weapon for the proper situation. As in, when you load up into a map, make sure that you use the proper weapon. As in, if let's say you're playing something like Gustav Cannon, you really won't want to be using submachine guns because Gustav Cannon is inherently a very long range map. So if you use submachine guns, you may be able to get a couple kills. However, it's not going to work out too well because your submachine gun really cannot challenge people at medium to long range, where sniper rifles and rifles will be able to take you out. So you have to make sure that you pay attention to what weapon you're going to be using and what class you're going to be using for that specific engagement. So as I said before, you don't want to be using SMGs on Gustav Cannon. However, it would be a smart idea if you want to go ahead and use something like a sniper rifle or a rifle, and if you use that, that would be more suited for Gustav Cannon. And that's just one example. If let's say you're playing point to hawk, you don't want to be using sniper rifles because point to hawk is a really close range map, so you don't want to be using sniper rifles because sniper rifles won't really work in those close range situations. So yeah, that's another big tip. Make sure that you're using the proper weapon for the proper situation. Now this doesn't only have to be about the map. This is really important when it comes to the game mode that you're playing, because you're going to be wanting to use a different class for the different game mode and the different play style that you're going to be implementing in a specific game. For example, if let's say you're playing team deathmatch, you're only really focused on getting kills, so you might run something like a SMG with suppressor, so that way you can go around the map and get kills. However, if you're going to be playing an objective game mode, like for example hardpoint, you're going to be wanting to play differently because you're probably going to want to choose something like a submachine gun would be good, however also a rifle or a shotgun, because you're going to be wanting to clear out objectives, like for example in hardpoint or domination. And it doesn't just depend on your weapon, it depends on the type of basic trainings that you're going to be running. So yeah, that's going to be a really big tip, is make sure to use the proper weapon for the proper situation. Alright guys, so another really big tip that you want to follow if you want to get more kills in Call of Duty WW2, and that's going to be make sure that you don't run kill streaks that you can't get, because I've seen people that play Call of Duty WW2 and then they run the really high score streaks in the game. However, if you look at the kills and you look at the deaths that they get per game, you know that they're probably not going to be getting that score streak in quite a long time. And that's one big tip that you're going to want to do, is make sure to run score streaks that you know that you can get every single game, because there's really no point in running a score streak that you know you're only going to be getting it occasionally. For example, if you want to run paratroopers are a really good score streak in Call of Duty WW2. They can get you a lot of kills. However, if you might not be the best player in the game, you might not be able to consistently call in paratroopers game after game after game. So it might be more beneficial for you to run the artillery score streak, because you know that you can get that consistently every single game, and that's going to be really useful because it means that you're going to be getting more kills because you're going to be getting these score streaks more consistently. And of course, if you are a really good player in the game and you can consistently get the high score streaks, you can go ahead and run them. However, if you're not consistently consistently getting the high score streaks, there's really no point in running them. Now, of course, there are exceptions. If you want to run the higher score streaks, you can. I'm just talking about for a game-to-game basis. You don't want to consistently be running the high score streaks that you can't get. However, there's really nothing wrong with running something like the ball turret gunner or paratroopers once in a while just to see if you can get them, because of course you want to be able to push yourself. However, consistently, if you can't get those score streaks, then don't run them all the time. And in turn, run score streaks that you know that you can consistently get, because you're going to be getting more kills with them if you can consistently get them every single game. So yeah guys, that's going to conclude today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to drop a like on it down below, as well as subscribe for more Call of Duty World War II tip videos like this one. We are getting really close to 500 YouTube subscribers, so if you guys would like to subscribe, that would really help me out. So yeah, that's going to conclude today's video. I hope to see you in the next one.